Very good morning and welcome to the news for the hearing impaired. I'm Abhishek Mahajan and with me is Manisha, my colleague. First up, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to launch a high-throughput COVID-19 testing facility in Kolkata, Mumbai and Noida today. These facilities will be able to test over 10,000 samples per day. '82nd CRPF Raising Day is being celebrated today. Union Home Minister Amit Shah to pay tribute to the martyrs of the force, also to address the CRPF personnel posted across the country virtually. Flood situation in Bihar and Assam continues to remain grim. In Bihar, the flood-affected districts have risen to 11. And in Assam, the death toll due to floods have touched 102. Union Minister Jitendra Singh offers all possible flood assistance to Assam to restore infrastructure damages. India reports the highest ever recovery from COVID-19 in a day. More than 36,000 people discharged sets a new record by performing 4.42 lakh COVID-19 tests in a single day. Global COVID cases cross over 1.63 crore with 6.51 lakh succumb to the illness worldwide. USA and Brazil continue to remain in the top affected countries with 43.6 lakh and 24.1 lakh confirmed cases respectively. Liverpool signs off Premier League winning season in style with a record of 99 points. Manchester United and Chelsea secure their position for the next season of Champions League. Now news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today launch new COVID-19 testing facilities via a video conferencing. These facilities will ramp up testing capacity in India and help strengthen detection and treatment of the disease. 3 high-throughput testing facilities have been set up at the ICMR National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research at Noida, the ICMR National Institute for Research in Reproductive Health at Mumbai, and the ICMR National Institute of Cholera and Enteric Diseases at Kolkata. They will be able to test over 10,000 samples in a day, and these labs will reduce the turnaround time and exposure of lab personnel to infectious clinical materials. The labs are enabled to test diseases other than COVID-19 too. They will be able to test for hepatitis B and hepatitis C, HIV, Mycobacterium tuberculosis and dengue as well. 82nd Central Reserve Police Force Raising Day is being celebrated today. To mark the occasion, Union Home Minister Amit Shah will address the personnel of the force posted across the country through a video link. The Home Minister will also unveil 3 documentaries prepared by the CRPF depicting the role of its Corona warriors, environment protectors and troops involved in internal security. Mega Raising Day events are not being held this year in view of COVID-19 pandemic and physical distancing protocols. An event that involved marching contingents and display of combat skills in an open ground was scheduled on March 19th in Gurugram, but it was postponed due to coronavirus outbreak in the country. Political crisis still continues in Rajasthan. The Bahujan Samaj Party has issued a whip to 6 Rajasthan Assembly MLAs who had announced a merger with the ruling Congress party last year to vote against the Ashok Gehlot government in any proceedings of the House including the no confidence motion. A signed communication by BSP General Secretary on July 26th says that all the 6 Rajasthan MLAs that were elected on the election symbol of BSP issued by its national president Mayawati are bound by a party whip to vote against the Congress government in the state. According to the statement, BSP is also planning to join the proceedings in the High Court challenging the legality of the merger. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court will today hear Rajasthan Speaker CP Joshi's appeal against the High Court order staying the disqualification proceedings against 19 Congress MLAs led by Sachin Pilot. The Speaker had moved the top court, complaining that the High Court had no jurisdiction to ask him to defer the disqualification proceedings. In his petition, Joshi called the court order illegal, perverse and in derogation of the powers of the Speaker. Several states across the country continue to grapple with heavy rainfall and floods, and the story of floods is no different in Bihar. The number of flood affected districts has increased to 11 now, and about 13 lakh people has been affected by the floods. The rivers Burhi Gandak, Bagmati, Kosi and Mahananda are still above the danger mark in Muzaffarpur, Samastipur, Rosra and Khagaria districts. NDRF and SDRF teams are conducting rescue and relief operations in the affected areas. The State Disaster Management Department said that 1,40,000 people have been evacuated from flood affected areas so far. Dry ration packets are being dropped in the affected areas of Gopalganj, East Champaran and Darbhanga with the help of Air Force helicopters, while 442 community kitchens are being run through which cooked food is being supplied to 1.75 lakh people. The Met Department has warned of light to moderate rainfall in the catchment areas of Nepal and heavy to very heavy rainfall areas connected to Gandak River. In Assam, the flood situation improved marginally. Assam Disaster Management Authority said that with 2 more deaths on Sunday, the death toll due to flood has touched 102. Nearly 25 lakh people are affected in 27 flood affected districts. The floods triggered by heavy rains have inundated more than 2,265 villages in the state. Of the 27 affected districts, Golpada has been hit the worst, followed by Barpeta and Morigaon. A total of 47,772 people have taken shelter in 294 relief camps. The NDRF teams have so far rescued and evacuated around 2,600 people during the floods. Union Minister of State Development of Northeastern Region Dr. Jitendra Singh on Sunday spoke to Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal at telephone and offered whatever possible flood assistance from the ministry to restore and repair infrastructure damages caused by incessant rains, floods and landslides. Dr. Jitendra Singh said that Northeastern Council under the aegis of Ministry of Development of Northeastern Region will extend whatever possible help for restoration and repair of damaged infrastructures in the wake of incessant rains and floods. He said the ministry will also coordinate financial and other help from other agencies of government and other sources. The Union Minister said that central government is constantly monitoring the flood situation in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh and other affected states in the northeast. India recorded highest number of recoveries in a single day with 36,145 people recovering in 24 hours, pushing the recovery rate to 63.91. This has taken the number of recovered cases to 8,85,576. The gap between recovered patients and active COVID-19 cases has further increased to over 4,17,000. The recovered cases are 1.89 times the active cases, and for the first time a total of 4,42,031 samples were tested in the country in a single day. The government labs set a new record of testing 3,62,153 samples, while private labs also scaled a new high by testing 79,878 samples in a single day. Tripura will go under 3-day total lockdown from today to break the chain of spreading coronavirus. Addressing people in a televised speech, Chief Minister Biplab Kumar Deb said coronavirus cases are increasing in Tripura, mainly among people who came from outside the state and those who came in close contact with them. He therefore stressed that this lockdown is necessary to remain prepared. The Health Department will conduct a house-to-house survey and antigen test of suspected patients during the lockdown. Currently, Tripura has a fatality rate of 0.29%. Karnataka government has issued guidelines for the upcoming festival of Bakrid. State government has prohibited mass offering of namaz on Idgah grounds. Maximum of 50 people can offer Eid namaz inside mosque, and if more people gather, then they would be divided into 3 groups. However, except for mosque, no other places should be used for offering mass namaz. All those who attend namaz at mosque should wear face mask and must follow all social distancing measures. Thermal screening needs to be done before entering the mosque, while no one would be allowed to touch holy books in the mosque. Handshaking and embracing to greet will also not be allowed. Entry will be banned for people who are above the age of 60 years and below the age of 10. In Bengaluru, BBMP Commissioner Manjunath Prasad has ordered that animal slaughter, which is a vital part of the festival, will be restricted only to abattoirs. Animal sacrifice has been prohibited at public places in the city, as well as other places identified by the civic body. The India-Israel partnership is currently focused on combating the COVID-19 challenge, and even as it does, the larger agenda of cooperation continues to move forward. External Affairs Minister Subramaniam Jaishankar on Sunday made the comments in a tweet after speaking to his Israeli counterpart Gabi Ashkenazi. On Friday, the Israeli embassy in India said Tel Aviv that decided to send India this week a team of scientists working to develop a rapid testing kit for coronavirus. The Israeli team will work in the All India Institute of Medical Sciences in Delhi. According to a statement by the embassy, the testing of the first phase was already done in Israel, and the last stage will now be carried out in India for the testing kit, which can give results within 30 seconds. The External Affairs Minister also spoke to the Canada Foreign Minister. He underscored on working together with Canada on global challenges. The two leaders also discussed the COVID-related cooperation. The Revenue Department is planning stern action against 1,474 risky exporters who were untraceable but claimed GST refunds worth 2,020 crore. Risky exporters are from sectors like ready-made garments, wallpaper, wall coverings, leather apparel, smoking pipes, mobile phones, cigarette holders, footwear, plastics, floor coverings, ball bearings or roller bearings. Out of the non-traceable 7-star exporters, 5 operated from Delhi and 1 each from Mumbai and Kolkata. Adverse reports have been received in respect of other 3-star exporters, 2 in Mumbai and 1 in Jaipur. These star exporters were involved in the export of ready-made garments, kitchenware, utensils, sound system, amplifiers, microphones, seafood, etc. Integrated GST refund is suspended in all such cases where there is adverse report post verification about the exporter or his suppliers. Anji Ghat Bridge, India's first cable-stayed rail bridge, the ambitious project of Indian Railways, is being constructed with superior technology and engineering excellence. Union Railway Minister Piyush Goyal has tweeted, and I quote, "Indian Railways is going to build country's first cable-stayed rail bridge between Katra and Reasi in Jammu and Kashmir. The cable-stayed railway bridge is part of Udhampur Srinagar Baramulla Rail Link project. It will strengthen the railway network in Jammu and Kashmir region and will play a vital role in the development of the state." In Jammu and Kashmir, security forces busted a terrorist hideout in Lauren Top area of border district of Poonch on Sunday. An operation was launched by Gorkha Regiment of Army along with Poonch Police, during which a terrorist hideout was busted. During the search operation, arms and ammunition have been recovered from the hideout. A case has been registered into the matter.
दो अक्यूज जो नारकोटिक्स और हथियार स्मगलिंग कर रहे थे, इनको आज इंटरसेप्ट किया गया। इनके नाम है बशीर अहमद शेख सन ऑफ गुलाम अहमद शेख, दूसरे का नाम है अब्दुल आमिर शेख सन ऑफ मोहम्मद आमिर शेख। ये दोनों टंगधार के रहने वाले हैं। इनको अरेस्ट करके इनके पास से 10.2 केजीज नारकोटिक्स, जिसकी कीमत लगभग इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में 50 करोड़ के करीब है, और भारी मात्रा में आर्म्स एंड एम्यूनिशन इनसे रिकवर किया गया।
Let's now take a look at updates on COVID-19 from across the world. So far, more than 6.52 lakh people have died globally, while the total tally of coronavirus cases reached around 1.64 crore in the world. The situation remains worst in US and Brazil in terms of cases of infections and fatalities. Around 43.71 lakh cases have been registered in US so far, with death toll reaching to more than 1.49 lakh. Brazil trails behind US, recording 24.19 lakh infections, with death toll crossing 87,000. Meanwhile, UK ranks third in terms of death toll with more than 45,000 fatalities, followed by Mexico, Italy and France. The United States remains the worst affected nation from COVID-19. US recorded more than 1,000 deaths from COVID-19 for the 5th day in a row on Saturday. More than 50,000 new cases were in the last 24 hours, taking the overall tally over 43 lakh. Meanwhile, Florida surpassed New York over the weekend as the state with the second most coronavirus cases in the US. More than 9,300 new cases were reported in Florida on Sunday, accompanied by an additional 78 new deaths. Brazil, already in economic doldrums due to coronavirus pandemic, has called off the traditional New Year's Eve celebrations at Copacabana this year due to COVID-19. The authorities are now considering other alternatives like holding smaller events at various locations across the city. More than 24,000 new coronavirus cases were confirmed in Brazil in the past 24 hours. While the death toll increased by over 500 in that period, the country has seen COVID-19 cases exceeding 24,19,900 with death toll more than 87,050. As pilgrims arrived for Hajj amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the Saudi Arabian authorities ordered a deep clean of Islam's holiest site in Makkah to minimize the risk of spread of the virus. This year, pilgrims from across the world have been barred for Hajj. This is the first time in modern era when pilgrims from Saudi Arabia only, and that too 70% of whom are foreign residents in the kingdom, can go for the pilgrimage. So far, the virus has claimed more than 2,730 lives in the country, while the number of cases exceeds 2,66,940. In sports, Liverpool, who had won the English Premier League title after 30 years, defeated Newcastle by 3-0 in the last match of the English Premier League, thus ending the season scoring 99 points in the championship. Liverpool's Van Dijk, Divock Origi and Sadio Mane scored 1 goal each, while Newcastle's Dwight Gale scored the only goal for his side. Liverpool won 14 away matches this season, which is a new club record. Liverpool had last won the England top league title in 1990. At that time, it was known as League One. Liverpool's team missed out on the title on different occasions after their Premier League debut in 1992. But German coach Jurgen Klopp's team finally ended their 30-year wait for clubs and fans to capture the title. England's famous and renowned Oval Cricket Ground welcomed 1,000 cricket fans for a friendly two-day game between Surrey and Middlesex. It is the first time since the COVID-19 lockdown that spectators have been allowed into a sporting arena. The 1,000 fans are all members of Surrey Cricket Club, and it's part of a British government pilot scheme to stress test COVID-19 measures at sports venues. Meanwhile, World Snooker Championship, which will begin on July 31st in Sheffield, will also be part of the pilot. There have been no spectators at the sporting events since March, with a complete shutdown of competitions until mid-June. Well, that's all we have in this news bulletin. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.